of the 1992 Olympic Winter Games. Next, CBS Sports presents NCAA basketball.
Here in Louisville, Kentucky, home of one of the winningest programs in the NCAA. And today the Cardinals will host the undisputed heavyweight champions of college basketball, the top-ranked Running Rebels of UNLV. Everyone, I'm James Brown along with the coach, Bill Raftery. Well, the most feared and potent team in all of college basketball is the Running Rebels. They score over 100 points a game and are paced by the likes of Stacey Augmon and Larry Johnson. Really, their offense gets an awful lot of attention, but it's really their stingy defense that's the key.
JB, you're the only guy that can beat these guards, I think, defensively. But up front, they've got Stacey Augmon, one of the great deniers in college basketball. He prevents his man from getting the ball or pushes him out as far as possible, making it tougher to go to the goal. And, of course, alongside of him, the big guy, the big fella, Larry Johnson. Big, strong, tough, but extremely mobile, quick to block shots, and quick to get rebounds.
Hey, Billy, protecting the ball today is a must for Louisville, but this is not a typical Louisville squad. They're struggling at 7 and 8. Inexperience is one of the reasons why, so that means point guard LeBradford Smith, the senior, must shoulder more responsibility.
They've moved him over, and it's a tough position for him. He's really a two-guard. He's got to value the basketball, get it over the timeline, and then make the first pass to the forward or the high post. Obviously, they'd like to get him into the scoring mode as well.
All right, Louisville would like nothing better than to be an inhospitable guest today. It'll be Louisville and UNLV coming up in a wide-open game. Starting lineups after this.
CBS Sports coverage of the road to the Final Four is sponsored by the American Express Gold Card. The Principal Financial Group, financial products that give you an edge. And by Bud Dry. Why ask why? Try Bud Dry for refreshment that's beyond question.
Of an up-and-down game between the Cardinals and the Rebels. And the lineups for today's game: UNLV, a familiar five: Johnson, Augmon, Ackles, Hunt, and Greg Anthony. For Louisville, a couple of changes: Holden, Sullivan, Tremaine Wingfield will be at the center spot of a freshman, James Brewer also at guard, and LeBradford Smith. Jerry Tarkanian, in his 18th year at UNLV, having a lot of fun, says he absolutely loves this squad, and why wouldn't he? A five that many consider the best in college basketball.
And an Eastern shirt, long sleeves.
And Denny Crum, struggling on the floor and with his health today, has a bad cold. But he says, hey, you learn through adversity, and we're going to make it through it.
And what a tonic to play Vegas when you're not feeling well.
What a tonic. What a tonic. Today's officials for the contest: a familiar and veteran threesome, Rusty Herring, Larry Rose, and Sam Croft. Last time UNLV came here 2 years ago, the Cardinals blew them out by 18. As if the Rebels need some motivation, they do in fact say revenge is uppermost in their minds. UNLV excellent on the road, 17 consecutive road wins, 25 straight. They're undefeated at 14-0. And we're underway as Holden controls the tap. This is James Brewer, sophomore, for the Cardinals. LeBradford Smith, Everett Sullivan. And you will see the Rebels up and down the court quickly.
He will take the threes.
Good tap from behind as LeBradford Smith knocked the ball loose from Anderson Hunt, and it'll be Cardinals ball. Billy, we might see a much looser Cardinals squad because no one expects them to win.
It's out of conference. They're comfortable. Actually, they're happy with their play. They just don't know how to win at this point in the season in a tough schedule. Vegas, man-to-man.
One of the best, most complete guards in the country. Greg Anthony defending LeBradford Smith. Brewer. Ackles with the rebound. A much more confident George Ackles in the lineup for UNLV this year. And LeBradford Bradford knocks yet a second ball loose. This one from Greg Anthony.
If you're Denny Crum, and in talking to him yesterday, you've got to get shots. Both trips now, good shots. They got to continue. Don't turn it over.
From the wing, Stacey Augman, and Billy, that's something he's worked on religiously over the summer to become more of a threat.
He told me that he worked as hard as he possibly could because he knew that was the one dimension he didn't possess, the outside shot.
With that three shot by Stacey Augman, the Rebels on top by 1, 3-2.
They're settling for the jumper. I think it's a wise decision. Why go in traffic and get it sent back?
Sullivan off the mark. Brewer with the rebound. Stripped. Blocked by Larry Johnson. And here come the Rebels, but a foul whistled underneath.
I think they got Stacey Augman for this one. But activity, you don't back off. Obviously, you have to have the utmost respect for Vegas coming in. They are awesome. Great starting lineup. Good bench. And defensively, this man, par excellence. I just can't get over the job he's done. Switching from his zone at Long Beach to man-to-man at University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
And knocked out of bounds by George Ackles. Pressing pressure, man-to-man defense by the Rebels. Trademark.
There's the old time out of bounds. Celtic out of bounds. Pop a guy back.
Smith, good pump fake. LeBradford Smith in the paint.
Usually they'll go to Johnson, but not yet.
Hunt. And Augman with the rebound. Good hustle by James Brewer. And it'll stay UNLV ball.
Clark likes to get the big guy involved when they feel they're in danger. Obviously, with the long jumpers, they don't need him.
Not the greatest of shooting early on. Both teams warming up like two heavyweights. Actually, a heavyweight against maybe a middleweight.
Hoping to play like a heavyweight. Nice defense here by Holm.
Johnson, nice pass to Augman, and Augman scores and is fouled.
That's that high-low they run so beautifully. If it goes to the box, they run selfish. And we talk about family teams. Massimino's club of Villanova comes to mind. This club enjoys one another. Obviously, the loyalty and teamwork exhibited both on and off the floor by them staying at Vegas when they had a chance to go elsewhere.
Augman with the miss, but rebounded and lost control. This is Everett Sullivan for the Cardinals for 2. And rebounded by Ackles. Lost the handle. Good hustle in the corner by LeBradford Smith. And we talked about him having to shoulder more responsibility. He's showing it by his leadership.
He's had a lot of people here, a lot of scouts to see him, to see how he performs in a stressful situation. But I'm impressed with Louisville taking the game with confidence for the open jump shot, not turning the ball over.
A lot of movement on offense by the Rebels. This is Anderson Hunt. And Hunt
so quick to the ball.
But a good second effort. Anderson Hunt, the MVP of the Final Four last year with his first basket.
Great streak shooter. And here's one.
And quickly, the Rebels living up to their nickname. And Johnson with the basket.
Can he run? Oh, he can get him up and down with the little guys.
At 6'7", 250. It's a 9-4 Rebels lead. 17:20 remaining in the first half.
Little nickel-dimer by Hunt. In your heyday, you used to get a 3-second violation. Going to the goal for a layup.
Talk about being quick, huh?
For lack of speed. But that's what's most impressive about Johnson. Multi-positional. Man has an easy time picking clothing, doesn't he?
Boy.
Little shirt and tie, relaxes.
First personal, Anderson Hunt. Smith, scoop shot. Can't get the roll, but it stays Cardinals basketball.
Now, this is a test for the officials, too. This game's going to be played up over the 10. And you anticipate as a referee, because you're not used to so many big people being that active.
Wingfield at the starting center spot in place of Troy Smith. And Brewer rebounded by Everett Sullivan. Troy Smith, the starting center, has 2 sprained knees, and that's why Wingfield has gotten a start today.
And he's an active player, too, Wingfield. He's a quick jumper, not a bad inside player, and has some activity. Whereas Denny Crum has banged heads as a junior college coach against Stark, so they had the same problem there. He won. He said he also proved he was a good recruiter as a junior college coach in California.
Bradford Smith.
His you get me with defense now. It's his zone. They're very active and challenge people.
Sullivan responds to the challenge. Had a game-high 26 on Thursday night against Southern Miss.
Just break it down with the pressure dribble, Vegas.
Johnson at 6'7", 250, showing his mobility. Inside to Johnson, and uses that body nicely.
He just knows, because of his derriere, where the people are. Hands up. You can't force it. Nice play by Anthony.
UNLV averaging 11 steals per game. That's why I mentioned protecting the ball so important for the Cardinals, as Johnson using his body to protect the shot.
Anytime you get it in the 3-second lane, you're dead. Particularly if Larry has the basketball.
6 points on the afternoon for Larry Johnson. It's a 13-6 running Rebels lead, and it goes back the Rebels' way. And we've got a timeout in the action here at Freedom Hall. 15:54 remaining in the half. Rebels on top by 7.
Why do women always know when you're not telling them the whole story? And why do they always change plans at the last minute? Why do we keep putting up with them?
Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste and dry brewed for no aftertaste. So while women may remain a mystery, refreshment won't.
I'm a second-half quarterback.
That was a stellar performance.
15 pieces of chicken or a supersized bucket of hot wings, just $9.99 each.
Anytime you're ready, gentlemen.
Super buckets from KFC.
Come on, Dad.
Hey, Tom, why in the world would future Hall of Famer Nolan Ryan be shaving way out here in the Texas hills?
I don't know, Mel. I guess he never knows when he'll be called upon to make a pitch.
The big metal shaver, because even good old boys want to look good.
To introduce Isuzu's new Rodeo, we've placed it and Toyota's 4Runner in this campground to see which is better for family fun.
Sure, the Rodeo has more horsepower and rear anti-locking brakes, but another key difference is that only the Rodeo seats 6.
So, combined with its price, thousands less than 4Runner, we see that only in a Rodeo, no one gets stung.
The new Isuzu Rodeo, at just $12,499, there's no comparison.
When Miles gets a love letter, Murphy and the gang have the perfect reply.
I drive a brand new BMW and wear an unusually large shoe.
It's Matchmaking Murphy Brown, Monday.
JB, the reason I'm with you is that I didn't have big, strong guys posting up, as you'll see Larry jump. But right here, the key is the pass to the outside hand so that you can then drop step to the basket. Look at the big guy step in, take out Holden, and just say goodnight when he's that close. Big, strong, and intelligent about where he happens to be on the floor.
Might have the cross in front. The Rebels on a 10-2 run the last 2.5 minutes, improving their field goal shooting. 6 of 8. They lead at 13-6.
There's what you talked about. They did front low. The problem you have is they take away the inside help defense.
And the quick hands of the Rebels after a back-and-forth sequence, and Augman with the jumper. Stacey Augman with 7 points, and the Rebels 15-6 lead.
They're a spurt team, and as you noted earlier, off the defense. They get too many easy baskets.
We talk about spurts, and lack of some scoring spurts have hurt the Cardinals this season.
Out in the open here where you're vulnerable to an easy basket.
And Anthony, after the steal and score, is fouled. Greg Anthony, interesting story, who thought coming out of high school that he was not going to be much of a basketball player, a complete one now.
Well, he's going to be a great talent at the next step, too. Here, the swiping ability. His first game, of course, the finish, rather simple for a talent like this. You can't turn it over in that vulnerable area leading to a goal. You must get shots. The fear that Denny Crum had coming in.
Averaging 11 on the season. This is the basket. But it's off the foot of Cornelius Holden, and it'll be Rebels ball.
They got to get in it now. Showing signs of intimidation right now. Their head not in the game. They've got some ability. It's valuing the basketball. It's been their problem.
Duran Webb into the contest for the Cardinals as Tremaine Winslow takes a seat on the bench. And Kip Stone, a freshman, coming in to replace James Brewer.
They stretched the zone with their ability to shoot deep.
And Johnson holding his position with the rebound and is fouled. Actually had been pushed back by Everett Sullivan, but maintained that good position once he was there.
The strength as LeBradford from the rear helped out.
LeBradford Smith with his first personal foul, team's third.
Well, Denny Crum had Scooter McCray out recruiting. He said, Coach, I saw a high school team run a trick play. We could use it. He said, Scooter, we need some tricky players.
And of course, Scooter McCray, a great player for Denny Crum.
Well, that's the choice. You don't want to foul. I would prefer Ackles shooting the ball than Johnson. So if you could channel it away from Larry, easier said than done.
And that's something I'm sure Denny Crum will remind the freshman Kip Stone, who committed the foul.
Of course, Denny's been tough on this team. He installed a dress code for the road. Academic requirements. They have a new academic advisor. A 2.0 being installed by the school now each semester. So if a kid gets a 1.8 and a 2.2, he's ineligible.
It's got to be a 2.0.
It's got to be a 2.0 each semester.
And Billy, let me correct myself. That was actually Cornelius Holden committing the foul, his first, as Ackles misses both free throws, only a 51% free throw shooter. So the lead stays at 11, 17-6, Rebels.
JB, when you come into this game, if you're Louisville and Denny Crum, their pressure is good, so you need a pressure release man. Somebody has to pop up to get the outlet pass so you can initiate your offense.
Sullivan for three. Loose ball. Ogden with a nice pass to Johnson.
Well, earlier he had elbowed and gotten away with it, but that is a tough pass from the point. Ogden down low to Johnson.
Larry Johnson picking up his first personal foul. Team third.
Larry and LeBradford, of course, from Texas. And LeBradford said he likes to talk during the game. I expect a little whooping.
Cornelius Holden. Good defense by Larry Johnson and deflected the ball. Rebounded by Ackles. Anthony for Augman.
Good aggressive man-to-man. Better than I've seen of Louisville in tapes. They've emptied the side now. There you go. So you can't get the help when you front them.
And Johnson just manhandling Cornelius Holden on the inside. Holden at 210, giving away 40 pounds to Larry Johnson. Johnson 4 of 4 in the paint.
So their approach to offense is unselfish. So if they see you fronting, they take the big guy on the other box away, they can dump it over the top.
I'm sure Holden feels like he's defending George Foreman and has the weight of Sugar Ray Leonard.
He is tough. There's a little screen down and a dip in, LeBradford.
Billy, look at the Rebels defense keeping the ball on the perimeter.
Oh, they're trying to... I thought if you could dribble, penetrate, and kick it, you could get jump shots.
And that's exactly what Everett Sullivan was trying, and he's hit on the back of the head. So Everett Sullivan will head to the free throw line as he's fouled in the back of the head.
JB, you were a good player. This is an impossible task in man-to-man if you don't get help. But what Vegas does is they eliminate the back people, so all of a sudden there's room to throw the lob. You can see Hunt getting into the play, really shouldn't have been down there, almost caused a turnover. But they're a heady play.
Elmore Spencer, 7-foot junior college transfer into the lineup for the Rebels. And Augman loses the ball out of bounds. It'll be Cardinals ball. LeBradford Smith, Kip Stone, Duran Webb, Everett Sullivan, and Cornelius Holden, the 5 on the floor for the Cardinals. Anthony, pressuring the freshman. Nice pass to LeBradford. Good pump fake. And Spencer with the rebound. Nice outlet. West Unseld-like. And Hunt with the slam.
That's the problem. Hunt has the license to take off on every shot. They're confident that 4 guys can get the rebound. They sneak him long. If he's playing you, you must go back with him, James. You can't just let him take off.
potentially Elmore Spencer, the most talented big man that Jerry Tarkanian has had in his program. Well, and a nice Wes Unseld looking break.
Big, strong. They can play bigger with him in there, but this is the old shippy hanging. Remember this? You never liked the guy in the playground to do this, but Hunt very good at it, and also that ability, if he has to fan out, to shoot the three.
And Hunt with the steal on the errant pass and making the Cardinals pay for it. A 23-9 Rebels lead with 12:08 remaining in the first half. Louisville has turned the ball over 5 times.
Nice look.
Sullivan from Smith. Augman. Too high a pass. Pretty. Sullivan.
Don't give up easy baskets at one end. Come back strong. Find the passing lane. This is where LeBradford has improved his game. Send it in, Everett. But they're going toe-to-toe now, and they can if they get back and don't give up the easy baskets. That's an important aspect of this game for them.
The hot hand for Louisville. Everett Sullivan, 5 of 8 from the field. The rest of the Cardinals, only 1 of 8. Hunt for 3. Unperturbed look on the faces of the Rebels.
Oh, they're so confident.
Kip Stone. This is Webb. Let that one go quicker than he wanted. That's intimidation on the inside.
They're relentless, and they power the ball up so quickly.
Johnson, a man on the inside, blocked by Sullivan, but gets his own rebound. And Larry Johnson having his way on the inside and fun.
It's a day on the beach, fellas. Oh,
10 points for Larry Johnson already.
He carves up so much room down low, it's impossible to move him.
Johnson leading the Rebels in scoring at just under 23 a game. And Greg Anthony all over LeBradford Smith.
I saw Anthony's first game in Vegas. The scouts were going crazy. They had over 30 points. Stole, it wasn't anything he couldn't do. Stole it, ran the break, guarded his guys. Just incredible ability, and that's where it all starts. The 2 guards pressuring the ball.
Into the lineup for the Rebels, Everett Gray, a 6'7" sophomore. And Billy, this is not a mistake. H. Waldman also into the lineup for the Rebels. That's his first name, H. As LeBradford Smith goes for the second free throw. And the Cardinals trying to chip away, trailing by 13 with 10:46 remaining in the half. NCAA doubleheader action coming your way tomorrow afternoon as the Hoyas of Georgetown travel up to Pittsburgh in a Big East clash, always tough Big East. And Kenny Anderson and company travel to Tar Heel country to take on a deep North Carolina squad. That'll be coming your way tomorrow, right here at UNLV over top of Louisville, 28-15.
Oh, Anderson Hunt out of the gate strong. They played in Detroit against Michigan State. Larry Johnson highly upset they played in Detroit and L.A. for Augman. He wanted to know, as the big guy, jump hook. And Larry wanted to know, Tark, how come you didn't go to Dallas for me? He said, oh, I apologize, I forgot about it.
That was Elmore Spencer with the jump, left-handed hook.
This is the amoeba, as they call it. They exchange spots on the wings and pressure the ball.
Nice good touch pass from Sullivan to Holden. And tapped in by Derwin Webb. Was not offensive interference. Close, though.
No, close, but great activity.
Gray, Spencer, Waldman, Johnston, Hunt. This squad in for the Rebels, and this is Brewer for the Cardinals. Nice strip by Waldman.
Oh, is he a prospect? You mentioned H. His father and grandfather called Herb. The mother would have no more Herbs.
So she called him simply
Aged. As if he get teased about it, he said quite a bit.
Sullivan misses on the slam. Here come the Rebels. Numbers 4-on-1. Too high for Larry Johnson, and it'll be Cardinals ball.
This is fun for him. I mean, he knows there isn't anybody out there physically that can contest with him. But what's incredible is his running ability to get down in the middle of everything.
And Bradford Smith on the bench for the Cardinals, so their floor leader out. It's Brewer, Kipstone with the ball here, and the shot rebounded by Cornelius Holden, knocked loose. This is Sullivan.
He can compete with the best of them inside. Great jumping ability. You can get a shot on the baseline if you're patient.
The Cardinals don't have any size this year, and they're giving up a lot of size with this squad in here now. And Brewer with the attempted dunk, followed by Cornelius Holden, the junior. His first basket of the afternoon.
Just make the layup.
And Everett Gray, a charging foul indeed. Good defense by Everett Sullivan.
The defense hasn't been bad. It's the offense and the judgment at that end.
8:45 remaining in the first half. Rebels on top 30-19. James Brown along with Bill Raftery and Andrea Joyce is on hand. As LeBradford Smith comes back into the lineup, replacing Kip Stone for the Cardinals. So it's LeBradford Smith, James Brewer, Cornelius Holden, Derwin Webb, and Everett Sullivan, the 5 for Louisville. Travis Bice into the contest for the running Rebels.
Shooter. That's the shot you're going to get if you're patient.
Holden. Ogden with the rebound.
It's a 3-2 offense by Vegas, trying to post up their big people.
And boy, are the running Rebels on fire. 70% from the field. Steps.
Oh, they got the foul.
So Everett Sullivan picks up his second personal foul. And it'll be the team 5th.
You always pay for dribble penetration. Down low, not a bad job, but all of a sudden, and this is something Vegas is terrific at. If you give them a seam to turn the corner, now you have to step up, and that's when they run that loop.
And that's the first person on Everett Sullivan. Bice, three-point shooter, but he's inside the stripe there for 2. Travis Bice, at only 168 pounds, said he's gained 20 pounds since he's been in college.
I don't know where. He's got my legs out there. He said from weightlifting and dining a little bit. There's the penetration in the dish.
And nice pass, and Derwin Webb converts. Still an 11-point Rebels lead. Ackles blocked by Tremaine Wingfield. Now, you know, obviously a foul, but you'll take that kind of foul.
That's the anticipation by an official, too, though. I'd like to see that play finish before they shoot that B. Great activity on both ends.
Ackles not a good free throw shooter at all. 51% on the season. And he gets the drop. Not a shooter's drop, though. Actually shooting much better from the field at 71%. Nevada, Las Vegas. Then at the free throw line. They're 1 for 6. Brewer.
Look at that pass.
Ackles with the travel. You know, Billy, not a bad idea on the part of Denny Crum to play an up-tempo game. He's got a quick squad in there.
You got to challenge them and take the quick shots. That way you eliminate the defense. It's a little easier.
Where the pros are stars and the stars play like pros. AT&T Pebble Beach.
From the Far East to Europe.
And has to play the basket. We'll see as they reverse the basketball, the ability to find somebody free. The drop down, of course, now here's Cornelius in the middle and on the baseline, an open jumper. And, of course, they hit Cornelius in the lane. So I think the key is to pry on one side, reverse the ball, shape up in the 3-second lane, and possibly get the corner jumper. So Louisville, I think with the philosophy of the quick shot, if it's there, valuing the ball and handling the amoeba, it's still going to be tough.
Without a doubt. An enthusiastic packed crowd on hand here at Freedom Hall as James Brewer goes up for the fake, and it's knocked out of bounds. The original starting five back on the floor for the Rebels. And good hand by Stacey Augmon, considered the best defensive player in America.
Gorgeous footwork.
19,300 strong here at Freedom Hall. Always a sellout whenever the Cardinals are playing. They're hosting the top-ranked running Rebels. And it's been the stingy defense leading to the fast break of the Rebels that have them out in front by 10 over the Cardinals.
Bad judgment.
And a turnover by the Cardinals. Hunt followed by Johnson.
Picking up the pieces.
And a classic example of the defense leading to the offense. 14 first half points. Make it 12 for Larry Johnson.
Now, you can't blame the balance. It's the turnover in key area. You can't get people in the right position defensively.
Brewer for three. His fifth.
Brewer doing a nice job on Anderson Hunt. He got back on defense.
Augmon. And just when the crowd wants to get involved, Stacey Augmon quiets them with his 9th point of the afternoon.
Difficulty in running your set. Vegas so disruptive.
Sullivan.
Good shot, though.
Johnson with the rebound. Here come the Rebels.
Head's always up on Anthony.
Larry Johnson attempting the three. LaBradford Smith. Ahead to Sullivan. Brewer for three.
Turn and fire. They are in great shape, too.
Augmon. A blocking foul whistled on LaBradford Smith. And Billy, we talk so much again about the offense, but it's the defense of the Rebels.
But James, look where this mistake takes place. Everybody ready to turn into a fast break. You just can't do that. Telegraph, put the ball over your head, telegraph the pass, and throw it 20 feet. Shorter passes, people have to get free.
Cornelius Holden in for the Cardinals, replacing James Brewer. And you notice the floor balance as well on that offensive break.
It's very tough to get back when you make a mistake that high. But I think Louisville has handled the ball much better than I expected coming in. And defensively has played them well.
The Rebels, not a particularly good free throw shooting team, never have really been, and today keeping on track. 2 of 7 on the afternoon. 10th point for Stacey Augmon. But I guess free throws don't come into play when you're beating the team on average margin of 32.8.
Well, after the Pacific game, they came back, and Tark had almost a 3-hour practice. Again, they got a turnover. Thought they had a steal on the foul line. Tark had almost a 3-hour practice, and Anthony's starting to get restless and whine a little. He wants to leave. He said, well, you played lousy last night, Tark said. He said, but coach, you know, we played lousy, we won by 20. What more do you want? You know, some clubs are going to get close to us.
Not very many, as a matter of fact. UC Santa Barbara, the closest this season, losing by 16. The Rebels have won 10 games by 30 points or more.
Excellent use of the court.
And patient in the offensive end.
Tough match down low.
Augmon, nice drive and pass to Greg Anthony. And it'll be Cardinals ball.
I guess a 3-second violation. Well, we get one of those a game occasionally. But Kip Stone down there with George Ackles, a tough match for Louisville.
Larry Johnson setting up housekeeping in the three-point lane and make that in the paint, the 3-second lane. He does own it.
All the things they do well. They contain the dribble. Not good defense there, huh?
And Sullivan makes them pay. Everett Sullivan dropping in his 13th first half point. 39-28. UNLV lead with 4:15 remaining in the half. Holden with the rebound. LaBradford Smith, a 2-on-4. Wow, Smith. Not a good shot.
Your math was good, his wasn't.
Stone to Sullivan. Blocked by Ackles, who barely left his feet. Stone blocked by Johnson.
Very competitive, though, Louisville. You can see the activity by the Tarks group. They help one another beautifully.
Here's Andrea Joyce.
All right, thanks, JB. Coming up at halftime, CBS News will have a special report and update on the war in the Persian Gulf. Then on the Prudential at the half, we will bring you up to speed on other college basketball action, and we'll take a look at some of the surprise teams of the season, all hoping the Cinderella slipper fits. That's all coming up on the Prudential at the half. Now let's go back downstairs to JB and Bill.
All right, Andrea, from college football to college basketball, Andrea Joyce. And we've got a foul on the floor. Anderson Hunt with the foul. That's his second personal foul.
And JB, you can see the easier type of shots. Not a good foul by him. Very intelligent approach to the game.
Jermaine Winfield, 6'7", 205-pound freshman. He and Kip Stone, the only two freshmen to be academically eligible to play for the Cardinals this year. And he misses the free throw. Cardinals had a freshman class of 5 that was rated as one of the top 3 recruiting classes in the land.
Nice head and shoulder.
Johnson blocked.
Return.
Cornelius Holden.
To Sender. Good activity. Good reaction. But look at this great control. I mean, that's a 6'8", 250 in the swipe by Cornelius.
But that's how you nullify a guy that big.
Sure, one guy can't play him. Cornelius is delighted then.
Wouldn't have happened if Johnson was up on him. Hunt. Ogden. And the Rebels playing volleyball, and Johnson with the score. So Larry Johnson having an impressive first half, 14 points, averaging just under 23 on the season.
Sharp attack, attack the glass. Everything they do like this, aggressive, all out.
And Kip Stone trying to do it himself, pays the price. This is Anthony. Blocked by Smith. LaBradford Smith.
Great effort.
Ogman for 3.
Look how quick they are to the ball, James.
Louisville ball.
Great self-control by Ogman, but there's a case of taking away the dribble path. Another phase of their wonderful man-to-man, and L.A. up big.
Speaking of L.A., LaBradford Smith, as we see the turnover going to the Rebels. LaBradford Smith playing at the 2 spot, and at times a 3 spot now. Obviously, Crum trying to free him up on the offensive end.
They can't just have him at the point. He's got to get some points for Louisville. They're switching any down screens.
Johnson was trying to draw the contact. Hunt. LaBradford Smith with the rebound.
Numbers.
Holden. 11-point deficit seems to be the barrier the Cardinals trying to get over.
Denny Crum said, I love my team even though we're struggling. Great defense here again.
Holden with the steal. And dunk.
Then he said they're so competitive, and they're showing it right now.
Cardinals ball, foul on Elmore Spencer. Third personal on Elmore Spencer. And 10th team foul. And that's the point at which 2 free throws will be shot by the Cardinals. New rule this year.
Sure is. And of course, Denny Crum, the confidence in listening to him reminded me of John Wooden in so many respects, from the card he has for practice, listening what he wants to complete that particular day, to his talking to his players. A silent confidence, knowing they're not as good as past Louisville teams, and yet they give him everything he desires in a ball game, as they are early on here.
As I mentioned, 2 free throws. The Rebels running on every miss.
Tark with that up-tempo philosophy. He runs the ball, as you noted, but it's complemented by the aggressive defense. No relaxation.
Holden misses 2. It's still a 9-point lead by the Rebels. Back to 11 on that powerful move by Larry Johnson.
There are NBA coaches saying, oh, could I fit him in to a few of my offensive schemes? That was the left that time. The turnover here. Good aggressive denial.
Bad pass by the freshman Kip Stone at the knees of Everett Sullivan.
This is not Greg Anthony or Anderson Hunt. It's the big fella taking it to the tin. Impressive. They use him as the reverse man out there. If he doesn't have anything, he can reverse it to the opposite side of the court.
George Ackles back at the center spot for the Rebs in place of Elmore Spencer. Altman loses the handle, but they say it's knocked off of a Louisville player.
Next minute is important because Louisville has droughts, and in watching some games, at the end of the half, they occasionally fall asleep. Good pinch D by Bradford.
During Webb trying to front Larry Johnson as Holden plays a one-man zone.
Needs help on this guy.
Matchup work that time with the quicker Webb on Johnson.
Tark told me yesterday, he said, he can dribble the ball, we just don't permit it that much. Get him inside and get the game over with. Has all the ability of a small forward.
The shot clock is off. 30 seconds remaining in the first half.
Tough club to hold it against.
Louisville trying to get it under double digits.
Shut off the next logical path whenever possible.
Bradford operating against Greg Anthony, an excellent defensive player. Good pump fake and shot by LeBradford Smith. So it's under double digits. And that's the end of the first half with the score. The Rebels 43, the Cardinals 34. Bob Schieffer will be back with the CBS News special after this message and a word from your local station. But yet Louisville is hanging right in here. What do you expect in the second half?
I would think that they'll get their zone, that comfort zone, try and get into their sets a little bit and talk about, hey, let's time our cuts. Get free so I can pass the ball and make our cuts down into the lane. I think that's been the biggest problem, initiating the offense. And, of course, when they've turned it over, it's led to easy goals for Vegas. So I'm sure Denny Crum is saying, hey, fellas, let's concentrate on getting a shot each trip. If we do that, good things can happen.
Larry Johnson, 8 of 11 from the floor, 16 points, the leading scorer at the half for the Rebels. Everett Sullivan, 13 points for the Cardinals. And by way of elaboration, I mentioned Troy Smith, the 6'7", 6'8" sophomore center for the Cardinals, has 2 sprained knees and is getting taped at halftime and is going to give it an attempt sometime in the second half if his legs feel okay.
Cornelius Holden and, of course, Everett Sullivan The smile here at half court. Larry Johnson turning does. They've got to get him involved. And usually Tark does when they need some baskets. So much for that philosophy.
Hunt, 4-3. That's getting involved.
Well, if they don't come out and play him, Anderson's going to drill it.
12 points for Anderson Hunt. Averages 15 on the season, and here the Rebels come again.
Don't forget, they get those spurts going.
The original starting 5 on the floor for UNLV. Ogden, pump fake, blocked partially by Holden, but not enough. And Holden came down on the wrong angle, on that left ankle of his. He's limping a bit.
They shouldn't have let Ogden get the ball in that 3-second area. There's what you can get when they overplay. Bring them high and back cut. You've got to show the ball against pressure defense.
15 for Sullivan. And Sullivan, good defense. And is pushed by Stacey Ogden. That should be 2 shots.
Should be intentional. He's going to give him the 2 shots.
And Larry Rose signals that. An intentional foul.
On the breakaway, this should be, you see the push? Well, it wasn't really intentional. Not bad. Just a 2 on the shot, James. Not a bad call. Denny, I don't blame him for complaining and begging a little bit.
He doesn't have much experienced talent to go to, Denny Crum. So certainly he doesn't want to see Everett Sullivan out of the game. And Everett Sullivan improved year by year here. Talk about maturing as a player.
In watching him, he's become a very good passer. Likes the 3-point shot. He had 4 3-pointers against Florida State.
It's 4 for 8 the other night against Southern Miss.
Nice spin out by Johnson.
Anthony for 3. Greg Anthony dropping in the 3. Only his 5th point of the game, but a 51-37 Rebels lead.
Brewer can handle. I thought he did the best job. LeBradford can play off the ball.
And Billy, the long passes, the bait by the Rebels defense.
Well, Ogden will push you right to the sideline. What do you do when you initiate your offense there? It's too far to go.
Well, I remember the day when you and I were playing 150 years ago. The skip pass was an illegal pass. Taboo.
You weren't permitted or you were out. You got the hook.
And Anthony fell on the floor as he was going for the loose ball and fell on that shooting hand of his.
Checking him. Wasn't it fun talking to him about his business pursuits? He said that he didn't know as a youngster, you mentioned, whether he was going to be good enough. So he and a couple of buddies started a T-shirt company and then got into sporting goods, and he gave up his scholarship.
Has his real estate license?
So that he could earn income, he had to give up the scholarship. So he said he loved it because now he's something for his nice post pad. Ooh!
And a wicked slam attempt by Cornelius Holden, but Larry Johnson blocked it, and Larry Rose corrects the call.
And then he said, what game are you,
Louisville ball?
What game are you in? Paying attention. It's not your man, but it's your game. The front, the continuing defensive sequence, not complete until you get the ball.
Subtle mind battles going on between Holden and Johnson.
The 2 of them. You've got to get him up in the air. He's great reaction to the basketball.
LeBradford Smith with the shot. He missed 2 of those against Southern Miss that could have given Louisville the lead down the stretch. His pet shot.
They're much more comfortable against the zone. That was the zone on the out of bounds.
8th point of the afternoon for LeBradford Smith. And LeBradford reaching around again. That was his 3rd time going for that. This time, whistles for the fouls. His 3rd.
You don't want that one for your 3rd. That's laziness, not getting the feet moving in the right direction.
Ackles. Boy, long arms on the part of Ackles. Rebounded by LeBradford Smith. This is Brewer.
Steps. Good call.
And walk. Greg Anthony, of course, wanted the charge.
Great.
Bradford did walk before the charge.
How about the anticipation defensively? It's an annoying effect how they keep attacking you You don't get no free outs when you play Las Vegas.
You talk about time and distance. LeBradford didn't have the ball, then maybe he should have been given a step. Well, time and distance.
He walked before he hit him, though, so that negates that.
Ogman. Stacey Ogman. 16 points for Stacey Ogman on that three, and it's a 54. 39 Rebels lead.
Has advanced his game, hasn't he?
Boy, impressive from the field. 6 of 8. Half of those jump shots. Brewer.
Now they got their offense running a little bit. Las Vegas may be a little tired.
Ogman. Well, you talk about tired, that's what Crum has been trying to do with his squad, is to keep them fresh with the substitutes. They're winded a little bit right now. Johnson isn't. Brewer.
That score of Seton Hall, PJ knows some job, isn't he? Awesome. Got to get back.
Talk about some job. That man there, Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson with 18 points.
I wouldn't be afraid to go to Dallas with my team with him.
Not at all.
Play anybody. Maybe the Mavs.
Well, many people say this squad could play a lot of pro teams and do well. The Rebs.
People trying to figure out what team they're as good as in Louisville right now on the ropes. If they don't get shots at the other end and balance the floor, they could have their difficulties. But people talk about the Walton team, the Lou Alcindor team. Think of the Jerry Lucas, John Havlicek. Andrea spoke about them at halftime. Some great basketball. Bill Russell's club. It's tough to put them. They all played in different eras against different types. But this team could stack up and play with most. And don't forget Quinn Buckner's Indiana team. It's no longer Bobby Knight.
And Quinn Buckner is even giving up the compliments for UNLV.
Thanks.
That personal foul was on Larry Johnson, his second personal foul. And LeBradford Smith dropping home the free throws. And it's a 13-point Rebels lead. 15:55 remaining. Talk on top.
Hey, what's that? Oh, that's no new shit.
Well, before the Super Bowl tomorrow, check out some super basketball action. NCAA doubleheader style as Georgetown and Pittsburgh clash tomorrow. In the second half of that doubleheader, Kenny Anderson traveling to North Carolina. All starting at 12 noon tomorrow right here on CBS.
Larry Johnson out of Odessa took Stacey Augman for a trip. And Stacey said, I'm glad you went there. It's a little too quiet for Stacey, that California.
Stacey's never been dramatic. He said it was very tranquil there. Johnson showing his ball handling moves. Rebound by Everett Sullivan. Billy, you made the comment during commercial, the Cardinals are hanging in there.
They sure are. I noticed Nevada not guarding as well, not as active. And this is the amoeba. Not a good pass.
Good defensive reaction by Johnson, but he loses the handle on the ball. Now you say amoeba defense.
Well, it's a name. It gets you clinic engagements. It's a catchy term, but they attack out of it and back up. It reacts and forms to the defense, and they like to be as active in it as their man-to-man.
Stacey Augman, long arms, leading the break, Hunt with the miss. Durin Webb with the rebound to LeBradford Smith. And boy, the Rebels just hassle you all over the court.
Okay, relentless as Stacey Augman gets the reach in. That's that deflection that clubs work on. He may have gotten it.
Third foul on Stacey Augman. Third team foul for the Rebels. And Anthony gets away with a nudge.
They've been successful against this. Getting open shots. Good.
Sullivan for two. Denny Crum says if he could get the three of his veterans, Holden, Sullivan, and LeBradford Smith on the same page in one game, they'd be a lot better.
And Sullivan is on the right page.
He is 18 points worth.
Too easy.
Anderson Hunt kisses it off the glass for his 14th point.
He is a scorer. That mentality, any opening he takes advantage.
Just backcourt of UNLV, not only defensive-minded, but a very good offensive squad. Talk about defense. Larry Johnson with the steal. And Anthony's shot blocked from behind by Derwin Webb. And thank goodness for the padded basket support.
Well, Anthony wanted to jam. He's had some tough falls in his career. But here's the defense now. Usually he's down on the box guarding the inside people, proving he can go out and play perimeter people. And nice sportsmanlike aid there and assistance to make sure that Greg Anthony doesn't fall harshly. I know if there's any problem, I'm going behind one guy, Larry Johnson.
Elmore Spencer wouldn't be a bad one to get behind.
No, I still think I'd stick with Larry. Larry's got the kind of body we all desire.
And Elmore Spencer coming in to replace Ackles.
Jimmy Gergovich, great assistant coach, head coach at Pitt for a long time, and Keith Starr, another assistant over there. His granddad back in that Pittsburgh area, not feeling well, asked us to give him his best as LeBradford charges at another.
And a big foul on LeBradford Smith as he picks up foul number 4 with 14:20 left in the game.
While you can be moving, I think they should have just let it go.
No call.
Yeah. Reacting. Tough one for number 4, but you can see Denny Crum's confidence leaving the veteran in there. He knows what he has to do. Just don't get a silly one.
So LeBradford Smith stays in the game with his 4th personal foul and a full 14 minutes left in the game.
Vegas is really helping Derwin Webb. They're not getting the ball down to Larry Johnson.
Anthony, not a good day from the field at all. 2 of 8 from the floor.
There you go.
And battling on the floor, and who comes up with it? And the score, Larry Johnson.
This should be no basket. He knows he got away with it.
He'll get that basket at the next level.
Yes, he will. Well, it's a continuation as you get off the bus to the next level. But he should be getting the ball with Webb on him, the good pin down. But right here, there's the grab. Here's another foul here.
Not at the college level, but certainly at the pro level.
No, that's a big basket. That's a 3-point possibility. And this is one of those bursts now at 62-45. Nevada.
Of those 11 rebounds, 6 off of the offensive glass.
That funny hesitation at the top. It's a rhythm that throws you off. Denny not used to getting these kind of calls at freedom.
Points for Larry Johnson, a 63-45 Rebels lead.
Good back cut.
Webb, nice pass from LeBradford Smith.
Bring him out and back cut. Overplay, diffuse.
Cardinals back on D for Hunt. Makes them pay from 3-point land. Anderson Hunt with 17, and boy, talk about shades of that game against Duke in the championship match.
Wide open, too easily.
Biggest lead of the game for the Rebels.
I'm even impressed when they go over the table.
It with style. Near the conclusion of today's game, Bill and I will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. And in their honor, Chevrolet donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. 66-47 UNLV lead, 13-13 remaining, and Larry Johnson continuing to play on the defensive end.
Holden unable to back cut with the bad ankle right now. Got to get away from his side. Larry just overplaying him.
And as if the Cardinals aren't hampered enough, Troy Smith cannot play because of 2 sprained knees, and August with a 3rd rebound. Volleyball again.
Spread the sea. All of a sudden, shedding bodies.
Larry Johnson.
A little whooping at the other end. And Rusty Herring just trying to calm him down.
And a little warning from the officials to Larry Johnson, the cooler.
You know, they're going to lead the country in a lot of stats. One of them is Huggy. And Wuggs. Either way. You need the pressure release man to time his cut, get free, present himself to the basketball to bail these guards out.
The Penobscot River at Old Milwaukee.
Well, it's been a UNLV second half, and Billy, I guess to embellish that note there, the front line scoring, it's been the manhandling, the UNLV Rebs front line of the Cardinals.
Too many of them, too strong, too active, too quick.
Too much.
Intense, and they are too much.
No doubt about it.
Awesome. It's very tough to match up. Denny Crum at a complete disadvantage underneath. And they've given him a nice run, and now's the time to step it up on the D and create a few stops if they're going to get back in it.
Denny Crum has been trying to pull a few strings up tempo, half court, trying to control. But this man here, Larry Johnson, has done a lot of damage. There's no foul call, but Augman with the continuation, a chance for a three-point play by Stacey Augman.
Now the smile, because he knows he's quicker to the ball than most. And that was up for grabs after the strip.
Well, the big squad in for the Rebels with Johnson, Augman, and Spencer across the front line, Anderson, Hunt, and Greg Anthony in the backcourt.
Now they won't play any different the next 12 minutes. They'll be just as involved, just as aggressive on both ends of the floor. And I think that stems from their terrific practice habits.
Take a look at LeBradford Smith. He knows what a strong team these Rebels are.
Really tough to get where you would like for the entry pass.
Holden. And although Holden is being physically handled by Larry Johnson, you like his heart. He is not giving up. Taking it where the action is, in the middle.
He's not himself since he fell, too. He's a great shot blocker. We know that. And under the basket, he's a very strong finisher. But Larry able to body him out.
Tremaine Wingfield loses the handle on the inbound pass. This is Anderson Hunt.
Spread it out, use all the floor.
Spencer. Augman with those arms.
Kept it up well. And he kept it up real high, never came back down with it. And right now, too many second efforts.
And this is the half that the Rebs feel that they normally get most teams. Out-quicking them, fatigue becomes a factor.
I thought they looked tired earlier, but they've stepped it back up.
Nice pass to Wingfield, but Wingfield can't get the roll on a nice pass from Kip Stone. That might be an indication of fatigue right there, Billy, the turnovers.
That opened it up. I also thought at the wing position, not able to get the ball, so the postman on the foul line has to come out and help the guard. You need wrinkles when you play Las Vegas. You can't come down and do the same thing or have the same direction in mind.
Take a look at Wingfield. We asked Jerry Jones, the assistant coach, longtime assistant for the Cardinals. Well, what about Tremaine Wingfield? He's got a freshman.
Succinctly.
Typical ups and
Quick
downs.
jump, and look at this, he died. Then he gives him a lot of responsibilities in practice. And of course, the two road warriors, right? Larry Gay and Scooter McCurry were out recruiting. They're back for the ball game. But Jerry's been in here, came in from Pepperdine. His birthday the other day, a belated wish to him.
With the three. And the Rebels starting to uncork. Like, since the second half started.
Uncorked like fine wine, I thought you were going to say.
75-49. Rebels on top. 11 minutes remaining in the contest.
There's a little 2-3 now. They're really not attacking the ball as they normally do in their zone.
Sullivan against Augman. Nice pass inside to Holden for the basket. Nice look by Everett Sullivan. Haven't seen much in the way of antics from Tarkanian on the sidelines this game or this year. When you got a guy like that and a team like this, why?
I mean, why do you have to move with this team? I mean, only guys like us might mess it up. Try to go out, change some things around. He just instills hard work and good habits.
And Greg Anthony whistled for the foul against Kip Stone. And don't forget, coming up next, it's John Madden's Super Bowl special. Get a preview look from the preeminent analyst in football, John Madden. And we've got a timeout here in the action. Denny Crum looking for some magic. And Anthony with a 3. So Greg Anthony, one of the few times he's connecting from out front with 12 points. You talk about loyal fans, obviously one spoiled with success over the years, but Denny Crum made mention that they have been supportive even during this drought.
I'm thinking of Anthony, too, as we're chatting about that. He left Portland and talked so highly about the school, and Jacobina, his old coach, taught him so much, but wanted to come closer to home and have his mom see him play.
Webb, drive, and foul. And Denny Crum, as you see him talking to his squad, says the one thing I do like about these guys, they do work hard. They have not given up. We've been competitive, but wait until next year. As a matter of fact, he talked about the 1985 season when they went 19-18. And
next year won, next year won it all. But he has not stopped. Now, 8 minutes to go. He knows reality has set in. This one is out. But what you're doing is you're preparing. He knows some of these players are going to get better and be ready to help or be the foundation next year for his youngsters that are sitting out for academic reasons, and he'll be back. I mean, they're just an awesome team, program, and tradition.
And a talented group of freshmen you mentioned who will be eligible next season. Dwayne Morton, Greg Minor, Brian Hopgood, and a JC transfer, Anthony Cade, who is supposed to be awesome. 82-54 lead by the Rebels, 7:50 remaining.
That may go.
Had a chance.
Everything else did.
There's Jerome Harmon, last year with the squad.
And back in school as well.
And the 3 freshmen and the JC transfer, Anthony Cade. A lot of offense. 70%, Denny Crum says, left last year of his offense.
Felton Spencer, a NBA center now, up in Minnesota, doing a nice job.
Sullivan for 3. Ackles with the rebound.
Look at this look. He just
Everett Gray blocked, but who's there?
They're always in the right spot. They counter by pushing all their people up the floor. It's not just one guy in on a break.
27 points, 13 rebounds for Larry Johnson.
And Derwin Webb has given them a good day. He's worked hard defensively, tried to block shots.
Travis Bice, H. Waldman, and Elmore Spencer into the lineup for the Rebels. And an indication, again, of what Jerry Tarkanian has done throughout the season and not allegedly trying to run up the score.
Now, their buddies going back to their JC days when they got started, and they have just nailed everybody. He had a hard time getting games, and I wonder why.
LeBradford Smith for 3.
Great to see his folks and his brother up here with a bad back. Brother said that he taught him a few things.
And that's how he got hurt, huh? Spencer.
They think a lot of him. I think he's going to be a good player.
Webb with the rebound. LeBradford for 3. Hold it.
Look at Waldman down there. He tried to block and may have gotten a piece of either the arm of LeBradford or the ball, but down, digging, and still active. And that's that total philosophy and commitment to defense. The whole sequence isn't over till we get it and go the other way. And even the subs, who may not get as much time, do the same thing. The man can coach.
And Tark trying to go deeper on his bench without hurting the Cardinals even more. Cornelius Holden having to play the inside position with the graduation of Felton Spencer. Quick jumper, just doesn't have the size, but A for effort in terms of what he's been doing.
Do you think not having enough tough games will hurt this club? I don't think so.
Not at all.
And their tough games maybe in practice.
Everett Gray, nice move, and they like him a lot.
And you can see why. The ability to dribble and penetrate.
The ball is on Holden, number 30. That's his second.
Cornelius Holden picking up his second personal foul. 7 for the team. Everett Gray takes it to the free throw line. An excellent athlete who was an all-CIF player in high school, playing in California.
Riverside, where Jerry coached at one time, community college.
3 sports star.
You mentioned Cornelius. Cornelius Holden, a Crenshaw grad. I talked to him about that program. And you think of the great names, Marcus Johnson, Darryl Strawberry. I know you're a big baseball fan.
Hey, Eric Davis.
Yeah, Eric Davis. And, of course, one of my favorites, Darwin Cook, who played for the New Jersey Nets for quite a while, now playing overseas.
Everett Sullivan on the bench now for U of L, and Mike Case, a 6'6" sophomore, in his place.
Now, these are the subs, but they're going to play harder at this point. I mean, they're extending that zone. They go out and play the ball in.
Brewer blocked by Ackles. And the follow by Duran Webb.
He has given an effort.
An example of what Crum says. They continue to play hard. 85-60. Rebs. Spencer stolen by Webb. Holden up to LeBradford.
What a catch. Not a bad gather in the open floor. Not an easy pass to handle, and showing his ability. Strong to the goal.
Travis Bice loves the three-pointer.
Did you ever play a team this overpowering when you were in school? I know you did with the Hawks.
Well, as a matter of fact, North Carolina with Bobby Jones, Bob McAdoo.
Now this is a skimmer, one of those tough to catch passes, but in the open floor, that's his kind of game. So continue. North Carolina.
They blew us out the worst. That foul was on Cornelius Holden, his third. Billy, you know, if I recall correctly, I'm thinking we might have played Seton Hall, as a matter of fact.
You know,
wasn't a blowout.
We played a triangle and 2. We had 2 guys on you, and that was in warm-ups, just to control you. A lot of years ago. That was a lot of losses ago.
Boy, talk about dusting off some cobwebs. This is Case, sophomore, throws it away. This is H. Walton. Walton trying to get a little too fancy, and Tarkanian does not like it, and he may be out of there.
Oh, he is. Keith Starr actually picked up the sub as Tark was going down to get him. He does not tolerate any nonsense. That's a great learning lesson for and in watching their games, I like him. And right away, now he better keep going and don't look at Tark.
Tark didn't look at him.
He's got about a dozen eggs on his brow. He'll learn. He is a good performer.
Case for 3. Webb blocked by Spencer.
Tark was so mad he called him Herb.
That's what the team calls him, although his name is H. And now Tark goes down to hear the explanation from H. Walton. 4:36 remaining in the game. Rebels comfortably ahead, 86-62.
For people who love basketball, if you ever get a chance to watch Nevada, Las Vegas practice, go and enjoy yourself.
It's a workout.
Oh, even the coaches everybody but Tark.
70% of the time spent on defense.
He's the overseer, all the assistants in the drills, as you mentioned, the defensive end.
Nice. Missing the 3.
Stimulates everything for them.
It's almost like the guys have a reprieve on the offensive end as a result of playing good defense.
That's his philosophy. You can do certain things, take liberties on the offensive end because you've worked hard defensively.
17 points for LeBradford Smith. To go along with 9 assists. Gray off the mark, but Ackles, high percentage shot. George Ackles. Talk about a wingspan.
And if you think Tark's not going to be strong next year, just look at the different guys that have played today. The subs, a lot of them back. Mentioned Wallman. Gray.
The one other thing that Tark likes about Spencer is that although he didn't play his first game with the Rebs until December the 20th, he was at every practice watching and learning and paying dividends.
Every day that goes by, one of the highest mileage, lowest price, and the best-selling of all V6 coupes is Chevy Beretta. Day by day.
Over 8 million places worldwide. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Sharp Electronics Corporation. From Sharp Minds come Sharp Products. And by Keystone and Keystone Light. Bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, they're a little closer together.
Well, communications. You take them out, you spank, cajole, and then you put the arms around. The loving affection, and that's a lesson, not well earned, but that'll stick. One you'd like to forget.
Brewer for the Cardinals. Of 3.
Reggie Theus plays for the New Jersey Nets. And talking to him about Tark, he just has this incredible affection as the Bradford finishes strong.
19 for LeBradford Smith, and that goes down as a check mark on the scouts list. Not giving up.
That's right. And of course, stepping in the passing lane. But Reggie felt he learned so much from him. He did so much for him in terms of his growth. And knowing anytime that I'm going to be around a Vegas team, to be sure and say hello.
Vice for 3. We know both coaches have a lot of players, ex-players, who say the same thing. This is Brewer. Swipe from behind. Spencer up to Everett Gray. And Gray, nice move.
Because you're living down in Washington, and you got Wes Unseld.
I was going to say
never nervous Purvis.
And Wes Unseld doing one amazing job coaching without an awful lot of talent, and Purvis Ellison maturing as a pro.
Some people think that Wes may have a shot at Coach of the Year because of what he's been doing.
Was a strong consideree last year.
And Purvis, all right.
Back in. You think we'll see a fancy move again by Waldman?
I guarantee you he will not go between the legs, around the back. Anything close to resembling that.
As Greg Anthony takes a seat on the pine. Holden. Over to Everett Sullivan. And Webb fouled.
Waldman
attempting the shot.
The foul is on Waldman, number 31. That's his second.
Now Waldman now in practice, the greatest lessons of his life, trying to guard Anderson Hunt and Greg, who just challenge you both with the dribble, the cutting. It's not an easy day for him, and obviously you're going to get better.
One of 2 for Duran Webb. And Waldman. A pass only Kareem could have gotten. Waldman, good defense.
Look at this.
Baseball pass up to Ackles.
Now that's not fair. 2 guys chippy hanging. I mean, one's bad, and there's the king of the country applauding the chippy hanging, Anderson Hunt.
Well, Tark bringing a guy off the bench whom Tark indicated thinks is upset with him because he hasn't been playing much, Melvin Love. And you'll see him in a few seconds as Webb continuing to hustle for the Cardinals. A 20-point lead by the Rebels.
Waldman on the money with that look. Strong arm.
LeBradford to Holden. And Holden up in heavy traffic and scores! Cornelius Holden, battling bigger and stronger guys all afternoon, drops in the basket. 13 hard-earned points for Cornelius Holden. And into the game for the Rebels. Number 24, Elmore Spencer.
Oh, they had taken the wrong guy out. Ackles is going out now. They sent him back in with Love. Melvin Love. Proving
Love is one big man.
They have a lot of big people. Big men.
Love, 6'9½", 250.
This finish, though, proving Denny Crum entirely correct about his club's competitiveness. He said, I just like them because they don't pack it. Wow.
Vice.
Vice for a price.
The man who looks like a human dipstick at only 168 pounds.
You are cruel.
Oh, no. I told him that. He said, I agree with you. And LeBradford waiting to draw the foul.
And Wallman really getting Jerry shaking his head over it. I think Wallman better get his own plane home.
Well, Tark had to have something to gripe about. Team played exceedingly well.
But Vice was cute in talking to both of us about his weight. And you never know if he's happy or sad. He just keeps on winning.
And says consistently that he will be back next year, Jerry Tarkanian.
I talked to Jerry about Wallman, and I said, you know who he reminds me of? Danny Tarkanian. He said, you're right. Said he does a lot of the things. His son was a heck of a basketball player. An attorney now.
LeBradford Smith dropping in the free throws. Good afternoon for LeBradford. 21 points. Under a minute to play. Well, I tell you what. Waldman certainly has gotten a lot of airtime this afternoon, made the most of it. And you'll want to tune in for John Madden's Super Bowl special coming up next. Listen to the big guy and see what he thinks about tomorrow's 25th Super Bowl down in Tampa, Florida. That'll be coming up after basketball.
Great to see those two back, huh, Pat? And John.
No doubt about it.
That looked good.
Boy, Waldman's in on everything, including the foul here.
He's been given everything he has. Some of it hasn't turned out too well. And this will clean up your 3-second area and eliminate the need of ball boys.
Almost caught fire, slid so far.
You will have your time, H. He gives it an H of an effort, I'll tell you.
Boy, you're on a roll. As is LeBradford Smith, 24 points, 10 assists on the afternoon in a losing effort. And Melvin Love, number 40, the big man I was telling you about, with the foul.
This is like an overtime game for Vegas. It's down to 15. They usually don't have them this close.
And again, an indication of how Tark is not running up the score.
No.
Brewer for 3.
And also how Louisville has hung tough.
Won't give up. Smith. Foul.
Well, that's as close as you're going to get.
You know, Billy, you really have to like this Louisville team continuing to battle no matter the odds.
Yesterday, I got a kick out of him. I said, you know, you're so competitive. It's got to be tough on you. He said, I want to win, but we're playing hard. And I think that's all you can ask of your players, and then he has gotten that response. L.A. in select company in terms of pro scouts showing something today. I think he will be highly thought of after this afternoon. We'll be looking at this tape as well back in the front office.
As LeBradford Smith leads the game with 26 points and 10 assists.
And down to 10. Ooh, almost got one. Look at this kid, though. Something he can't handle.
Case, good hustle on the defensive end for Louisville. Well, Waldman didn't go between his legs. He's wearing those baggy pants, so he went behind the back.
For a reason, though. There was traffic. It's okay to use the dribble wisely.
Love. Spencer on the follow. So UNLV wins it by 12 here in Freedom Hall, avenging a loss here 2 years ago by 18 to the Cardinals. Denny Crum, record falls to 7-9.
Hey, Hey, wouldn't it be great if you could just